Ladies and gentlemen, in the building is the one and the only. I am. And this is the Big Time Show. Just totally eliminated the background. And as you can see, I come through the smoke. Difference happened already. My background was right there. What's up, everybody? What's going on this afternoon? I'm going to change things up just a little bit. And so we see each other and become one. Just like that. Brings up. What's going on this afternoon? As I told all of you guys before, the smoke just comes and just messes my stuff up for me. I'm not going to bother it anymore. So this is the price that you pay for trying to be like Ric Flair and the Undertaker and all that type of stuff. Just mess your stuff up. I may need a WWE technician to come in here and fix my stuff like I really need to fix. Let me try it. I don't like it. I want my stuff just see, that looks so much better. Yeah. What's going on? Told you guys to turn on those notifications for me because I don't know when exactly I'm coming on. But I'm glad to hang with you right now for a few moments. As we talk, of course, Dallas Cowboys football and the latest news, at least from my perspective. The latest news of what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let you in on what I'm thinking, see if you agree with me. Obviously, you do not have to. As I always say, I just know I'm not the only one to be thinking like this. So I want you guys to just come hang with me just for a minute. All right. And we'll get to talking. I'm sharing. I hope you guys will do that. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for you, boy, real quick. If you don't mind. Hit that like button. And if you want to contribute, you can use the stars. If you're on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, you can use the super chat button. That guarantees at least that I'll see your comment. I figure if you donate that way or whatever, the least I can do is read your comment. So any super chat that I get, I'm reading yours. Stop me in my track. I'm doing that real quick. Of course, you want to go with the Big Time Show, $ the Big Time Show for Cash App. You can do that as well. $ the Big Time Show. You can do that as well. I'm sharing right now to other groups. A lot of people don't have, well, I'm quite sure you guys, at least the ones you came in, you have not notification on your phone at least to know when I'm coming on. It's pop right there on your phone. So I appreciate everybody. I realize people are at work, but I'm off work, and I told you guys I'll be coming on during the daytime a lot now, as well as my regular time. But definitely be coming on during the daytime as well. All right. Let me speak to those that are here. Let me know where y'all reaching me from. I know most of your names. Let me know where you're watching me from. Never really asked that. I just want to see how far the show reaches across the country. I know Joe. I don't know if Joe is in here, but I know Joe lives in Italy. And he never misses the show. Oh, it's nationwide. Excuse me, international. So it reaches there. I'm appreciative to him always. I know he's probably out here now. Today. I know it goes there. Where are you watching? What city? William says England. See, I didn't know that. Oh, I am international. There you go. Oh, William over there. What time is it over there, William? Robert King, Port Arthur, Texas. Right there by the Cowboys. Yes, sir. Danville, Virginia. Kelly Bourne says, I see you. I got some more Texas people in the building. It's Fort Worth. I got you. My auntie is in the building right there in Olive Branch, Mississippi. All right. I mean, I didn't know that I didn't know I had somebody in Virginia. It's 5:25 in England, William says. Well, I got you at the right time, man. You're not too sleepy. You probably just getting off work and you're watching me from another country. Hope everything going okay over there. Got a Cowboy fan over there in England, William Keel. Supporter of the show, always has been. I appreciate you, my brother. I really do. Don't have to do it, obviously, but you do. And I appreciate it. All right. Anybody else? Where are y'all from? Where are y'all from? I just like to know who watching me and from where you from. I think it's awesome that we all connected Cowboy fans unite. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we need to unite because I see some very familiar things happen. I mean, I guess that's a good segue. Me to go and get loose real quick. I ain't gonna be for you long. I got one complaint today. Just one. It's a complaint. I ain't got nothing positive today, y'all. Looking for optimism, catch me on another show. If you're looking for optimism, go check out my brothers. Somewhere else. Maybe they'll give you that. Today, my show is really therapy for me. I get to vent out some stuff. And I feel like venting out. You don't have to agree. You might can change my mind. I just don't like what I heard yesterday from Stephen Jones. I knew at some point, hey, I see Maya Nelson, Macon, Georgia. All right. Georgia in the house. Appreciate y'all, man. Maya Nelson, Macon, Georgia. All these folks. That's awesome. But in the city, where are you from? If you haven't put it in, just want to see where you coming from. All right. Stephen Jones, y'all knew it was gonna happen sooner or later. Right? Y'all had to. You knew that some of the old things that have always been a part of this organization were sure. It's just too good to be true. You know, you thank God for the off season so far and the unexpected results or change, primarily from Stephen and Jerry. Primarily, really all what they done. Hey, Darryl from Alabama. Thank you, bro. Primarily those two, because they usually find a way, at least by now, to get in the way. It would already have shown them. They haven't gotten into there's not a result yet from it, but you see the sign starting to point. And I don't like it. It's just me. You may like it, and I already know what some of your argument gonna be when I say what I'm getting ready to say. And let me go ahead and preface this by saying, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're right. You're right. Y'all just in there saying, what are we right about? What are we right? You ain't told us yet. I'm getting ready to tell you. Just hold on. I got to set it up first. So if you haven't seen Stephen Jones' interview from yesterday, he got the usual questions about Micah Parsons, Biggs, you know. And there's always going to be a little difference between, you know, what he says to what Coach Steinheimer says. There's a little difference there, here and there. But, you know, it's almost like they're somewhat on the same page. There's nothing there really to go crazy about. Coming to Michael Parsons, we all know really it's up to him to show for the mandatory couple days that's coming up. He can show up to avoid fines, but that don't necessarily mean you have to put pads on. Keep that in mind. You don't necessarily have to practice. He just needs to be there to show up. Somebody have a record that he did show up, so they can't take money that he has taken away from him. If I was Michael Parsons myself, I would not practice. I would not. Until I get my name on the contract, I wouldn't practice. That's just me. You may say different. There's nobody wrong or right on this, just depending on what your perspective is about an athlete coming into his last year on his contract. Your perspective is not wrong, just like mine is not. Everybody's not going to agree with each other. Fine. I personally think he shouldn't go out there to practice at all until the job get done. He's made all the concessions so far. He's done what they asked him to do. It's time to play a little hardball. Part of the negotiations is sometimes you don't do the status quo. How about that? So that's what I believe. I think that's what he should do. I hope he does it. If he does not, I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. Nothing new there. To talk about Trayvon Diggs, nothing new there. Both Steven and Coach Schottenheimer pretty much said the same thing. They would love for Diggs to be, in their building, but their guys can put their hands on, get everything going. But of course, Diggs, is working out in Miami, working with his people. The Cowboys officials have talked to those people that work him out, and they are, they're on one page of what he's doing. He's record of him rehabbing and he's working and all that type of stuff. So that's the same thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I came on here to tell y'all about. It irritates me. See, I'm a firm believer that if you're going to do something new, and Coach Schottenheimer and his staff represent the new, then you can't be so locked in on doing things your way, or at least have the mentality of doing things your way, because it just don't work for the new that's in the building. What the Cowboys did and the mentality they have may have worked for Jason Garrett. It may have worked for Coach McCarthy, but it may not work for Brian Schottenheimer. And you shouldn't have this type of thing, this type of mentality. So yesterday I just shook my head because I heard Steven say what I've always predicted, and he said it again yesterday, and I said, just be quiet. This is what he said, y'all. Y'all hear it? If y'all heard it, y'all type it in once I tell you. He said yesterday that the roster is not complete, and he was quick and was smiling when he said, we have to go to the UFL. We have to see if we can get one or two guys right there. Add on to the roster. We got to go to the UFL. We have to go down there saying and smiling. It's joyful and happy. All that type of stuff about the UFL. And let me get this right. I mean, it's the joy he had on his face for me when he started talking about the UFL. We got to go down to the UFL and go get a couple guys that's down there. How you know it's a couple guys? You do realize that they're in the UFL for a reason, right? Most of them are in the UFL because they couldn't make it to the NFL. Hello, somebody. Did y'all hear Stephen Jones say that? Type it in if you did. That just made me upset. Because the mentality is that you automatically are saving spots. And I know we got to have 90 men. Before I know we got to have 90 people. But why does it always got to be the UFL? And I know we got Cavante Kirk from the USF. Now I know we got Mr. Brandon Aubrey, and both of them are all pro players. As of last, I realize that. I know that the Cowboys have a good eye for the UFL, and they've reached in the UFL and they've found a couple of all pros. Can't argue with the success of the UFL. You can't say they don't know what somebody got a good eye. Whether that's Will McClay, whether it's Steven, whoever it is, you can't argue with the success, but I'm talking about the mentality. Why we gotta always go to the man? But we need help, in my opinion. We need help at the DT position. We need help in the cornerback position, as far as I'm concerned. And instead of getting the help from within, and I'm talking about within the NFL, and I realize there are gonna be some cuts made. I understand everything, but all this hype about the UFL every single year is really getting on my nerves. Not when Schottenheimer is not even thinking about the UFL. His moves have been directed toward, trying to stack the deck. You ain't stacking no deck from the UFL. You just getting depth. Everything that Steven does. This is the old Steven Jones. You don't never try to get impact, but you always are trying to get depth. And it's one thing to get depth from cuts and other teams and trade and all that. But Steven Jones, man, he loves the UFL. Y'all don't believe me? I don't know if y'all heard it yesterday, but if you didn't, go listen to his interview from yesterday and watch how his tone and demeanor changed when he started talking about it. Nobody didn't ask him about the UFL. He volunteered the information. He the one that said, well, we gotta go down to the UFL and see if we can get a couple players out of it. I'm like, what? And for all you technical people, I understand. You may say, well, you do realize that the cuts from other teams are going to happen in the last week of preseason. That's not going to be enough time for a player to jump on, learn the system rather quickly, and even possibly even play. You're absolutely right. You're right. I'm not going to argue with you on that. That's a disadvantage. I agree. I swear I don't like this. Oh, I can't stand it. I'm going to leave it alone next time. Yeah. Anyway, I can't stand it. All right. So, y'all excuse me for a moment. I have a very important phone call. All right. Sorry about that. That was a very important phone call. I had to answer that. Forgive me for that. Sorry. All right. Y'all didn't hear that, did you? I don't think y'all did. Shouldn't have. But anyway, why is it that there's such a eagerness to get to the UFL for players when there's a free agents out here right now that can improve your team? Whatever hole you're talking about, there are agents out there, there are guys that'll cheat. Free agents, You got some guys that if you try to draft them, it won't cost you absolutely nothing, especially if you really are trying to win now, which I believe the Dallas Cowboys are really trying to do with the best of their ability. I believe that they are. You know, I heard that the Philadelphia Eagles possibly are waiting to see what Cincinnati does about Trey Henderson, the great pass rusher from Cincinnati, and his 20-some odd sacks, and talking about Philadelphia maybe Trey may try to go get that. We're not Philadelphia in that area. Philly does that. I applaud them for doing that if that's what they're really trying to do. We're not going to do that. We're not going to have a Michael Parsons and a Trey Henderson on this thing. We're not going to do all that. Or we don't, sometimes the rich get richer. If Philly does that, then hey, see what I'm saying? I for people that heard about that, that's not the Cowboy way. We can leave that alone. However, we do got some guys that are free agents now, like the Stephon Gilmore of the world. You got some other guys there. We need DT. A lot of people want to trade for DJ Reader, all that type of stuff. You got some guys that can immediately give you depth, because that's what he like, depth, and they will come cheap. Yeah, you may have to break some trade stuff, and, won't cost you that much in your trade, picks and all that type of stuff. But if you're trying to win, win now, there's some moves that you just got to make. Stephen Jones, however, and I believe 100% because they do it every year. Pattern is there. He kind of got his eyes on the UFL right now. And I'm like, y'all do realize that we have to have, 90 people on the roster? 90. Before we cut down on that last week for the final 53 or 54, whatever the case may be. Look, if you're adding the guys that's on just so you can have bodies, I mean, and you're going to cut them anyway, then really, are you really improving your team? I mean, come on. If you getting a UFL guy and he ain't got a chance to make the team, and you just got him there for body purposes, for preseason games, at the end of the day, what is that really doing for your team? Because they ain't going to be on the team anyway. We ain't got time to waste. I don't filling out spots and all that type of stuff. Fill out some spots with some quality. Yeah, again, I know we got Brandon Aubrey, who came from the UFL. I understand that. I know how great he is. I know he's automatic. I understand. Best kicker in the game. I get it. I know you're all pro. I get it. I know about Kevontae Turpin, who was the MVP of the USFL when he came out a few years ago. I know Kevontae Turpin played for a secondary league and came to the Cowboys and made immediate impact. I understand that. I understand Kevontae Turpin is an all-pro kicker this year. I understand last season. I know he was all-pro. I get it. I'm not saying the Cowboys didn't hit home runs, because the truth be told, when you start talking about Kevontae Turpin and then you talk about Brandon Aubrey, just those two by themselves ensure that overall you probably got the best special teams unit combined in the NFL. There's no better kicker than Brandon Aubrey. There's no better kick returner, punt returner in the NFL than Kevontae Turpin. They both play what we call special teams. If you got two all-pros in pointed positions from the special teams unit, you have the best special teams unit in the NFL. You do. So I'm not knocking what they found diamonds in the rough. I'm just talking about the mentality. Why it always got to be there? You can't UFL your way in the defensive tackle position. You see what I'm saying? Notice the difference. You can't UFL your way to cornerback. No. You might could get a little something from the wide receiver and maybe running back position. You might could do that from the UFL. You might. You probably can't UFL your way from an offensive line, defensive line perspective. Probably can't do it from the linebacker position. So you might can do that because see, kicking the ball, that you can get away with that. You might get away with that as kick returner, punt returner. That's a lot of athleticism in that. Somebody that's able to read, blocks, dynamic in the open field. There's some great open field guys in the UFL. There are. But this mentality, man, this cheap mentality that Stephen Jones has at some point in every season is going to show up. And for the first time this offseason, I heard it. I heard it yesterday. He started talking about the UFL players with great joy. Great anticipation. I mean, great joy he had. He was happy about it. Nobody didn't ask him about it. I say it again. Nobody didn't ask him. He volunteered that. We got to go down. We'll see what's in the UFL. And, see if we can find a couple guys. And I'm like, man, I'm all about right now. I'm about trying to stack this deck. However way we can stack it. I want to stack the deck. We already got a little head start on it. We might as well try to stack the deck because when you make a move like we made, listen, we're trying to win right now. I'm convinced of that. They convinced me. When they went out and got Pickens, that was a big one for me. That let me know, okay, we ain't just trying to keep up. We ain't trying to keep pace with Philly and keep pace with Washington. No, we trying to whoop them. We're going to get Pickens. We're trying to beat them. And if you're talking about beating Philly and by itself, or you talking about beating Washington, then of course you talking about trying to beat everybody. Because Philly, of course, are the world champions. Don't get no higher than that. They the best. They the champs. So you trying to beat the champs. Washington, guess what? NFC championship game contenders. Oh yeah, you trying to become one of the Final Four when you go get a Pickens. And from that point on, I'm trying to stack the deck as best as possible. Whether that's by depth or whether that's by trade, I'm trying to stack the deck. UFL thoughts ain't stacking the deck. Right? And God bless them brothers. They playing it hard out. Obviously, they're trying to make a team somewhere. That's why they have the season position where they have it. So the baby, once their season ends, they can jump on a team right there at training camp and try to make a team. God bless those brothers. Some of them have. We only talking about the Cowboys. I'm quite sure that there have been other teams in the league that have got UFL players. I get it. I'm trying to stack the deck. Go give me a Gilmore or a Gilmore type. That's impact. I don't want no guy that you're going to bring in for these few weeks or so until training camp is over. Then the final cut coming and you already know he wasn't going to make the team anyway. Then you right back at square one. You ain't got nothing. Come on. I don't like this cheap mentality. Schottenheimer does not have it. Schottenheimer went and got his offensive lineman, then doubled up and got George Pickens. He went and got Tyler Booker. Then he went ahead and got Mr. Pickens. Come on now. You look at the other tiny moves that they made. Look at the draft. They're trying to hit home run. That's what I beg for. That's what they're doing. They're trying to hit home run. But I ain't got time for no feel good stories and all that. I ain't got time for all that. I don't want to hear that. I don't like the cheating showing up because it don't fit this off season right now. It don't. It don't fit, at least from my view, it don't fit the Schottenheimer way. It just don't. It don't. Jerry Jones this is the most quiet he's been in a long time. The only thing he done talked about is Michael Parsons. Whenever somebody talk, that's it. He ain't said nothing really. Other than the draft and talk about the players on the press conference right after that. Other than that, Jerry been quiet. But now, right here, right about now, as I've said so many times before, right about when training camp is getting ready to start, or these 3 days that's coming up, mandatory appearance by the players at least, mandatory practice. This is when the time start, when things start to shift. See, we had our honeymoon with Schottenheimer. We praised him. We love his culture, the way he's trying to bring the culture in the building. We love, it seems as if he had a big handprint on the draft. We praised him for that. It's like a honeymoon stage with Coach Schottenheimer. Now he's getting ready to exit stage left. And this little block of time right here is when Steven and Jerry show their face. And I wish they wouldn't. Because they don't never get it right. They don't. And this joy and enthusiasm about the UFL really, really gets on my nerves. It really does. Just because you cheap is all out there, ain't gonna call it. Jalen Ramsey is still a Dolphin. He answered that question too, William. You got to go check out the interview. They asked him about that, and he started laughing. He said, Jalen Ramsey plays for the Dolphins. That's what Stephen Jones said yesterday. They asked him about Jalen Ramsey possibility coming to the Cowboys or a cut or whatever. And he said, Jalen Ramsey is a Dolphin. You don't have anything to do with him. Not that he was going to tell the truth anyway. I mean, even if there was some type of, interest in him or not, he's not going to tell it them. They're not interested in Jalen Ramsey because you got to take on some of that salary. Cowboys don't want to do all that. Not him. Too expensive. So, and then speaking of which, if it was the June 1st cut, today is June the 5th. Cowboys ain't got nobody. So that ought to tell you right there. It's June the 5th. A lot of teams had June 1st cuts. You ain't heard no breaking news or nothing. But I'll let you know exactly where the Cowboys are standing, at least when it comes to adding on, at least right now, on the team. See, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Cowboys really believe in their guys, what they see now, and they're going to let this thing play out. I don't think they want to add too much. I think that they got a lot of pieces in place. Now, all of them may not be, it's kind of like the running back position, like, okay, who is the man? And nobody really knows, but you got about 5 or 6 of them. And you just say, okay, we're just going to let one of y'all battle it out and see who gets out of it, who come out of this thing. Linebackers, plenty of linebackers. It's going to be the same thing with them, y'all. We got all our linebackers. We don't need no more. We just going to let y'all play it out and see what happens. I believe they really believe in their guys that they have. I really believe that. It's a shame, but I really do believe it. All right, I'm done. I'm through venting. Nope. That's all I want. That's all I want to tell you. I'm done venting. Um, if you're a part of my um, Patreon page, Big Time Show Patreon page, that page is for people who have patronized the show um, with money, with super chats, all that type of stuff. Then you enter into my little private group. I figure if you patronize the show, I mean, the least I could do is put you in my private group, as part of saying thank you. They have access, it's kind of like a Facebook Messenger group where you can put in whatever you want to put in, and anytime I never close it down. And we talk on there sometimes as well. Okay, see you later, Auntie. And they be on there with me. And if you notice, though, I put a little something in there. Out of the blue, one of these shows that I had, I was on somebody, not on their show. I think I was on a Cowboy press conference. Now, I said something. I forgot exactly what I said, but a certain guy liked it, and that was Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker liked my comment. Then I looked at my page and I saw a message from Tyler Booker. And that's something. I corresponded with him a little bit. Him talking back with me. Just a little talking there. And so the show, I'm saying, is reaching the players. So I started a little convo with Tyler Booker himself. I'm going to message him actually probably tomorrow. I don't know him that well enough to, get him on the show, and he ain't got time for that now, obviously. But he liked the show. I'm talking about he pushed the like. He follows the show. I even put on my YouTube the channel link there. He liked that. And so you just never know what your show will do. No matter how many people are listening, no matter who is, just never know. And from what I said, Tyler Booker now follows the show. He follows the show. So, never know. One day, we might be blessed, and we may have Tyler Booker to be on our show one day. Of course, I'm going to ask, but not now. Got to build some trust with him first. You know what I'm saying? Got to build some trust before we do all that. But just want you to know, also, I looked on my notifications. CD Lamb follows the show on Facebook. I got to know that CD Lamb now follows you. Of course, I checked out and saw was that the real one, and it is. You just never know. You never know who's watching. So, thanks to you guys. Thanks to, being on the show and your engagement. Sometimes your chats will carry me a different way, and it very well may be at that particular time. There's some set of eyes that you wouldn't think would be watching. They find it interesting on what we have to say together in the chat. And there's, my microphone here. And you just never know what's going to happen. So we're going to make sure that we give our best, always trying to make sure that we, do what we need to do. Have the best show possible. Just never know. You never know. For 2 straight days, I was in messaging with Tyler Booker. Just talking about. Yes, he saw it. Okay. No, it wasn't like back and forth. You put a message out, I might miss it, come back. He came back with his. You just never know. So you always give your best. That's in any facet of life. I guess I'm preaching. Man. Always give your best. You just never know who's watching. You don't know when they'll watch. You don't know how they'll be watching. You just don't know. Your job is just to do the best you can in any facet that you have. Always remember that. All right, I'm done. Appreciate y'all. We'll come back again. Turn on those live notifications. And once you do that, obviously you know when I'm coming on. Until the end, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and only, the Big Time Show.